Hey, what's up, Bootstrappers? This is Ryan Nickel coming at you with another coaching tip. All right, so in case you haven't noticed, the market is changing. Yes, the market is changing. I don't know what markets you're in. Maybe you're a little bit behind us. Maybe you're a little bit ahead of us. But where we are at in Northern California, the market is totally starting to change. We have peaked out. We have hit the top, and there's a spike in all the properties that have been sitting on the market. They've actually gotten more now. We got more market, we have more time on market, more properties on the market, and that means that all the sellers that were waiting for the last minute, the last possible opportunity to go ahead and sell their house are now putting their house on the market, and now it's causing a little bit of a slowdown. And I'm also starting to see some seller concessions. So when this market changes and this market shifts, what do? You got to be out there and you got to be proactive and you got to be ahead of that curve. One of the things that I see with a lot of people is they buy a lot of lists. And as they're buying data, this data it's old data. You're buying 60 to 90 days in the past. And you're buying based on a market that's no longer here anymore. 60 to 90 days ago, May, June, July, that market, I mean, maybe not even so much July, but that May and June, those were hot markets, man. You could buy a house, you had multiple offers, you had bidding wars. That's not here anymore. You're not having bidding wars unless you price the property ridiculously below market. But for the most part, like the top end of the market, your luxury homes in my county here, luxury home is going to be a $350,000 plus. Those are starting to soften. They're not getting as many offers, and then the offers they're getting, they're contingent, and they're asking for sellers concessions. So there's a lot of stuff happening here. So what does that mean? If you're buying leads based on the past, excuse me, you're gonna have a tough time trying to convert those leads because your information's it's wrong. It's outdated. I just jumped on the MLS last night and Craigslist. I haven't been on Craigslist or the MLS in such a long time because the deals were so bad. They were so horrible. I couldn't believe it. Last night I jumped on, I shouldn't say MLS. I don't have MLS access. I jumped on Zillow. Okay, Zillow. So I jumped on Zillow and I wanted to see what was for sale under $100,000. And I saw three properties that were completely just like boarded up, just completely trashed out. They normally don't make it to the MLS or the Zillow. Those properties are snatched up. But because people aren't buying these things as readily as they used to, they're starting to hit the MLS. So I went ahead and I contacted this agent. And what I found out was really fascinating. This agent represents a hedge fund buyer. And they have deep, deep pockets. And they buy tapes and tapes and tapes of property, and then they rehab them themselves and they just turn them. Well, what happened was that they got all these properties and now they're starting to flood the market with these properties. This particular agent has 4 or 5, I can't remember exactly. It might be just 4 right now, active, just complete. Like, these are properties that you and I would go and wholesale, but they're dumping these properties because the excuse was, oh, our contractors don't have the time to get to this particular property. I'm like, all 4 of them? Really? She didn't say this, but this is my hypothesis. My gut instinct is saying is that they're starting to see the slowdown as well, and so they're trying to dump these properties before it becomes too late because they still want to make a profit on these properties. And with that in mind, I'm like, well, shoot, you know what? There's opportunity. So see, before I never looked on MLS or I never looked on Zillow because there was not great deals. One of these houses we're probably going to close on. There's enough of a spread for us to do what we need to do on it. And then. Again, you got to make your own leads, man. You got to stop buying and start creating. I was driving by and I saw a garage sale and I'm like, I don't know if I want to stop here. I stopped anyway. So I went and I stopped at the garage sale and I said, hey, so it's quite the sale. It was really quite the sale. It really was. I go, wow, what's the occasion? She's like, just cleaning out my house. I'm like, the house isn't for sale, is it? She's like, oh no, not this thing. This is my baby. I go, okay, that's too bad. I buy houses. And we started chatting. I bought a house down the street. That's why I was over there. She's like, you bought that house? Oh my gosh, I know the guy that you bought it from and all that stuff. So we were talking back and forth. She's like, actually, I do clean out. This is what I do. And I do estate sales and all my leftover stuff. I come over and I have yard sales and my own stuff. I'm like, oh, okay. She's like, well, tell me this. Do you actually work with people that are in reverse mortgages? Because I know 2 people that they're not deceased yet, but they're in nursing homes and we're doing an estate sale and they have reverse mortgages. I was like, well, do I? Here's my card. So creating relationships. In fact, I met a handyman. Where'd that guy go? I got his card too. This handyman, I needed some sheetrock replaced on the house down the street, and so I gave him he went down and gave me a quote, and then I also needed a front door glass replaced on the glass, and he went on another property And he went and gave me a quote, and he's actually going to do that job for me on Monday. So I was like, man, you never know where you're going to create these opportunities. So you always got to be out there talking to people. You always got to be looking for opportunity. So for me, it was a garage sale today, and it was also, last night looking on the MLS or looking on Zillow for properties that are for sale by with realtors. And I got, like I said, we're going to submit an offer on. I'm pretty confident that we'll be able to get that thing wrapped up. And then 2, there was another one that it's kind of borderline. I got to follow up with it because it's a sad situation. I don't know the whole details of it, but it's a mobile home on a half acre, and the kids have a loan on it. They got to sell it for exactly what they owe. It's in rough shape. It's in real rough shape. But for me, it's a perfect for what I do with the skinny deals and a rent-to-own strategy. In fact, I had a lady there. She's like, well, if you do a rent-to-own, my son will buy it from you. So I have the buyer. But the unfortunate thing is it's listed with an agent. I asked the agent, I said, hey, let's work out a deal here where we'll just, take over the payments, and I'll pay you a commission on it, and then you do what I'm going to do. She's like, I'm sorry, but my sellers are not going to do that. I'm like, will you at least present that offer to them? She's like, it's not going to work. I'm like, all right, well, from what I understand is most agents are supposed to submit or present all offers. But anyway, his mom just happened to overhear the conversation, so I gave her my card. So we'll see what happens there. But again, stop buying leads, man. Do not buy leads that are... Now, I'm not saying like don't subscribe to services. Like I subscribe to a system or a service called Property Radar, and they have active real-time what's going on as far as pre-foreclosures. But if you're buying leads based on the past, like 60 to 90 days ago, we're in a different market now. Things are changing, and you need a different strategy. Back in the day where you can just go ahead and submit an offer and they take it, and you run with it, those deals are still out there, but it's going to take a lot more skill. You're going to need a lot more skill to close some of these deals. The game's changing. You can survive it. Just be sure that you're actually, looking towards the future instead of looking in the past. And remember, you're one deal away from changing your entire financial future. It's really that easy. Really, just one deal is all it takes. All right, guys, I'm going to go inside, and I got to go cash a check because, God, I love this business. Oh yeah, this is it's always fun when you get nice little paydays like that. So really, guys, one deal is all it takes. One deal can change your entire financial future. See y'all later.